Oh, hello. Welcome to Base Science. I'm an oyster man now. As well as base scientist. And I like to introduce people to other base scientists around the world. It's a dying breed, as we all know very well. Because these doctors and scientists, they seem to know shit these days. Is it by accident? Or is there something else involved? Well, let's see. Because this video is called "This Explains So Much." Does it explain my raw chicken experiment though? And mind is blown 5 times. Let's check it out.
The reason why they use DNA from the cells of other humans and other animals in vaccines is to trigger an autoimmune reaction. Now I'm going to set this up for everybody.
I feel sick.
This is to make you aware. This is the autoimmune industry complex. Inject people without them asking or knowing DNA from other species and other humans into their body. You will wreck their immune system and create autoimmune diseases for life. Do you want to know how I know it?
No.
Real simply. Have you ever heard of a person getting an organ transplant?
Sure.
Yes.
Name an organ that they like to transplant.
Kidneys.
Kidneys are a good one. Yep. Kidneys, liver, hearts, right? You get all these, right? Lungs for pulmonary fibrosis. They have lots of organs they do transplants from. When a person you've ever known gets an organ transplant, that organ is coming from another human.
Yeah.
So they're finding someone who died or has sacrificed their own organ, and they're going to put that organ inside of your body. Let's give the kidney, for example. When they do that and they wake you up from the surgery, they then immediately prescribe to you 10 to 15 drugs for life that are called anti-rejection drugs.
Okay.
Your immune system's going to reject the organ and kill it. Why? Your immune system knows it ain't yours.
Foreign, yeah.
So it's going to go attack it. After it creates antibodies that totally
Immune system? Is that even the correct terminology? I don't know, that's too deep for this video. Let me know what you think about immune system. Does it actually work like we think it works? Anyway, continue. You are speaking some interesting things.
destroy that organ if you weren't on those drugs. That organ that you just received from somebody else has the DNA structure of kidneys. Guess what happens after it gets done attacking that kidney? It's going to be, those antibodies are floating around your body looking for what?
Kidneys?
Kidney cells, kidney tissue. They are going to then start attacking your kidneys, and you will develop autoimmunity of your kidneys, chronic kidney failure, and you will be on dialysis for life.
Jeez.
The body, we know.
Who likes that? You are on medication for life. Like this guy started. Autoimmune industry. These incurable diseases. They the best for money making.
Will reject and destroy any tissue that's foreign that isn't your DNA. This is a great design by God, by the way. Don't put other DNA in your body.
Right.
So now you put Cocker Spaniel DNA inside of a 6-month-old. You put hepatitis B inside of a 12-hour-old baby.
Yeah.
And you set them up for autoimmune diseases lifelong. This is why you get juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, juvenile diabetes,
Yes.
SIDS. Why did you get all these conditions of autism? This is
So
what
many
we're
more
doing.
diseases malfunction. Like autoimmune diseases are something that you just down here, but now it's like
Yep.
everybody, it's common. You're everywhere.
Oh, everybody in the audiences, have you ever wondered why it is so many children and adults are allergic to eggs? 7 out of the 9 flu vaccines have what's called ovalbumin, or by name, egg protein. Well, I looked that up. I wanted the world to see, why is there egg white in every one of these flu vaccines? Egg whites.
In the flu vaccine.
In the flu vaccine, 7 of the 9. So I looked it up. I wanted to know what eggs
It's
did
not
this
an
come
angel
from.
food cake.
I want to know what eggs, what egg whites from what animals are inside these vaccines. All right, so for the first 70 years of vaccine production, they were actually cultured in chicken eggs. They would actually inject. Judy Mikovits used to make them. Vaccines at the NIH, injecting the substrate into chicken eggs. to culture whatever it is they're trying to grow, that they then put in a syringe and inject inside of you. Any chicken egg protein they inject inside of you as a baby, you will develop lifelong egg allergies to.
That's interesting. Oh, I know a lot of people allergic to eggs. This explains a lot. There's obviously probably other reasons as well, but this might be one of the main ones. Continue, good sir. You're speaking some sense, some common sense.
Just so you know, in the last 20 years, it's no longer chicken eggs.
What is it?
It's snake eggs.
Oh, you're kidding.
90% of all vaccines are manufactured in China, and look it up. There's documentaries about this all over. They are called Chinese snake villages, and they just culture snake eggs for the pharmaceutical giants in China to manufacture 90% of all our vaccines that we receive in America.
What is the deal with snakes?
So chicken DNA, snake DNA. Do you want to know why there's so much autoimmunity, so many actual disease states, chronic illnesses in Americans? You're injecting foreign DNA that doesn't belong to you into you. And as long as you stay ignorant and blissfully happy to follow blindly the faith of your white coat authority figures,
Yes.
who don't know anything either,
Yep.
these little booklets will be very powerful. And I want everybody buying them and then giving them to their MDs after they can't answer your questions because none of them have a clue.
Can we get you back?
That's one of the reasons. One of the main ones. I can think a couple more too. One is everybody's guts are so destroyed. Maybe these things also affect that. Anyway, you have something more to say? Because this made perfect freaking sense to me.
Back on when the book comes out?
You better believe
We
it.
cover this
Yeah.
because
I'm going to do it for all vaccines. The flu one's going to be first.
I don't think
I
I
just
don't do any
think
more interviews today. I'm like
No,
done.
We
I'm
didn't
like,
run a national weeks of it, you know, and it's, I mean, everywhere you go, every billboard, Walgreens, CVS, get your flu shot. I mean,
I'm gonna buy one of these books for Travis Kelsey and send him like a box
Yeah,
of
no
them.
kidding.
Yeah,
Can I say one other thing before we go?
of course.
Yeah, I can't be more sick and disturbed than I am now. So go ahead.
So my presentation here a few minutes ago was totally different than anything I've done. I decided to show the world who was the real target of the pandemic called COVID. So I put it up. The American Diabetes Association just published that 40% of all COVID-19 deaths in America were in diabetics only. That's the largest percentage of anybody who died from COVID are diabetics worldwide. So I put up on the screen, the American Diabetes Association admits that 40% of all COVID deaths came from diabetics. All right, so let's introduce you to American Diabetes Association's mission statement and how long they've been around.
How long?
Since 1939 is when they were founded. And their mission statement is, we provide research to manage, cure, and prevent diabetes. That's their mission statement. So I went like this. How are they doing after 84
Yeah,
years?
How many?
I said,
Where were we at? 1939.
so we just finished 4 years, and almost half everybody that died were diabetics
Yep.
in America. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So how are they doing with their prevention and cure of diabetes? They've been researching for 84 years. I put up on the screen a chart that the American Diabetes Association shows that in 1980, 41 years later, after that organization was set up and collecting donations and research for diabetes to cure it and prevent it, I showed in 2010 they published on a bar graph that there was 5.5 million Americans with diabetes in 1980.
How many?
There was 5.5 million
Okay.
Americans with diabetes in 1980.
Okay.
They show it all the way to 2010. 2010, it's 21 million Americans
What?
are diabetics.
And these days, those numbers are old, and those are old ass numbers, bro. These associations, they're such a big scam, bro. Such a big money scam. Like all of these shitties. Anyways, because they tell you that diabetes, especially type 1 diabetes, is incurable. But I know actually few cases, if they start early, in the early stages of the diagnosis. I know a couple cases on the interwebs, at least, not in real life, so I cannot confirm. But I know a couple cases on type 1 diabetes, but type 2 diabetes, can you cure that? I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say here on YouTube, but I kinda know so many cases.
And then I showed what is it right now in 2023. It's actually 38.4 million now. That's almost double in
That's a hockey
13
stick.
years.
Yeah.
And the whole chart just goes straight away. So I showed the numbers and highlighted. I said, this is an organization committed for 84 years to prevent and cure diabetes. Are they working? Are they figuring it out?
No.
And then I showed that the World Health Organization just published that in the next 27 years, they expect 1.31 billion people on Earth to be diabetic, which these people didn't know it, and y'all don't either. Right now, there's only 500 million. They expect 2.5 times that in the next 27 years. So I went like this. All right, so you're an organization. For 84 years, you've been researching and creating products to cure and prevent diabetes.
Bro, that must be the scummiest job. Like, it's such an easy job for them. Like, they're just bullshitting around or what? Making a hell of cash. Just swimming in cash money. All these people donating it. Oh man. This is one of the key parts to understand how this system works. And never think it's by accident. Never think that, because it is not.
How well are they doing after 84 years? And I wanted to know, since 2010 to now, 2023,
Yep.
how much money has been donated to the American Diabetes Association
That's a great
to
question.
suck
Yeah.
at curing diabetes?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I put on
Yeah.
the screen.
Yep.
How much have they been given to suck 100% at preventing COVID
Yeah.
or preventing diabetes? So I put up every single Form 990 from the IRS, which they declare all revenue given to the American Diabetes Association every year since 2010. And I showed every single one of them and highlighted in red. Look at the red square. This is the amount of money donated every year. 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then I showed the total.
And?
The total is $2.5 billion has given to the American Diabetes Association.
Oh my God.
In the same time frame, they have doubled the amount of diabetes in this country.
You know, there's not a lot of, like, you can be an NFL coach, not win a game every year, and keep getting raises.
No.
And then I showed them. The American Diabetes in 1939 said they're committed to preventing and curing diabetes. How close are they? And I put up the American Diabetes Association's website, and it says, what is a cause of diabetes and the cure? It actually says, there is no known cure for diabetes, period. I showed them the whole world. I said, wait a minute. We've been giving this organization for 84 years billions of dollars to solve one problem. And then I said on the screen, how many of you do you think would be paid by your employer for 84 years to solve a problem specific to your audiences and customer base, and you never came up with a solution for 84 years? Would you still have a job?
No way.
And they all said, you would be fired. That was the
Yeah,
next thing on the screen.
absolutely.
Nope, you would be fired. You wouldn't have a job. So this is when I showed them how much money they've been given. Then I showed a list. Currently, the medical profession actually has a list of all incurable diseases they know of. And on that list is cancer. So my last part of this presentation was, well, if cancer is still not curable, how long has the American Cancer Society been investing
Yeah.
donations and research to look for a cure for cancer?
What year?
They started in 1913.
Really?
You got
And then I showed just the last 3 years worth of donations to the American Cancer Society, who publishes There Is No Cure for Cancer. I just showed them. It is $4.5 billion have been donated in the last 3 years alone to a cancer
That's
organization
ridiculous.
who has no effing clue yet how to solve the problem. They've created an organization to research.
Yeah.
So I set up on the screen.
Gosh, this will my married Holly. This will melted my brain. No, my brain has already been melted way too many times. Because I have too much knowledge of this system. I have been blessed and cursed by too much knowledge of this reality. Or this system. This real nature works perfect, bro. If people would follow nature, we wouldn't need all these associations. We wouldn't even know all these freaking incurable diseases. Is this the end though?
And everybody watching at home, please, for the love of God, stop giving money to the American
Yeah.
Cancer
Yeah.
Society, American Diabetes Association, any medical foundation. There is no known published cures of any of them. And we're giving them billions of dollars. And they are continuing to allow the problem they're professing to be looking for a fix for.
Man.
They're not interested in that.
Oh yeah, they like to do that. They create the problem and they create a solution that doesn't work but makes a hell of cash. Anyway, this has been Dr. Brian Ardis. You are best man in my books. I don't know anything else about your life, but if you have this kind of knowledge and you're sharing it publicly, getting it out there to fellow human beings, you're best in my books. Anyway, this guy got best science stamp of approval. And I'm out of oysters, I'm out of raw chicken, and my brain has been melted 1,000,000 billionth trillionth time. If I would get sent every time my brain melts about the stupidity, the amount of stupidity inside of this system, I would be the richest man in the world. Elon Musk would suck my toes. Anyway, that has been Base Science's raw chicken experiment lecture from today. See you tomorrow, because I'm probably gonna still be alive. At this point we can conclude that germ theory sucks. Terrain theory, that's way more likely to be what's really happening inside of this reality. Anyway, see you.